Okay, so the question is, a triangle has these three sides. Is it a right triangle? Well, remember, if it's a right triangle, right? Here's my guy. Here his legs. He pees on C. And then A and B doesn't matter, right? And then it has to satisfy the Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where c is the longest side. So c is the hypotenuse, which is the longest side. So it has to satisfy that in order for it to be a right triangle, right? So find the longest side, which is 18. So that's going to be my c squared, 18 squared. And everything else doesn't matter. So 12 squared plus 16 squared. And if this is true, then it is a right triangle. So let's go ahead and put that in. So if we said 12 squared plus 16 squared, 400 has to be 18 squared. Is 400 324? It is not. So it is not a right triangle. All right, triangle has these three sides. It must satisfy a right triangle, which means Pythagorean theorem has to work. It has to be a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Biggest thing is to find c squared. C is the longest side, so which number is the longest side? 10. So c squared is 10 squared, and a and b doesn't matter, so it's going to be 6 squared plus 8 squared. If that's true, then it is a right triangle. So go ahead and do it. 6 squared plus 8 squared, so 6 squared plus 8 squared equals, and 10 squared equals 100 is equal to 100, which means that works, which means then it is a right triangle. And you're pretty much doing that over and over and over. Find the longest side. So the longest side is 14. That's always going to be your C. So 14 squared. And A and B order doesn't matter. So 5 squared plus 11 squared. And then you're just checking it. So 5 squared plus 11 squared is 146. And what's 14 squared? 196. Are those the same? No. So this added together is not equal to this. So it is not a right triangle. All right, so again, find your longest side. Your longest side is going to be c squared. So c squared is 35. And then the order of a and b doesn't matter. So 21 squared plus 28 squared. So then you're checking it. So 21 squared plus 28 squared. And that's going to be 35 squared. Are those numbers the same? Yes. So this is equal to this, which means then it is a right triangle. And you're pretty much doing the same thing over and over again. All right, the biggest thing is identifying C. C is always the longest side across from its package. So that's 73. So 73 squared. A and B doesn't matter, so any order is okay. Plus 69 squared. Then you're just checking to see if it satisfies the equation. So 26 squared plus 69 squared is that, and then 73 squared is that. Are those numbers the same? No. So they're saying this is not equal to this. If it's not, Pythagorean theorem doesn't work. It is not a right triangle. So again, find the longest. So it's still 73 is the longest, and they've changed A and B. Order doesn't matter. So 48 squared plus 51 squared. Check it in the calculator. 48 squared plus 51 squared is that. And then 35, oh sorry, not 35, I'm tripping. 73 squared is that. Are those numbers the same? No, so Pythagorean theorem doesn't work, so it is not a right triangle. Look at me just going. All right, find the longest side. So longest side is 37, so that's c squared. A and b doesn't matter. 12 squared plus 35 squared. Then put it in the calculator. 12 squared plus 35 squared is equal to 37 squared. Are those numbers the same? Yes. So it is a right triangle. I'll do one more because it's really just repetitive. All right, longest side is 65. So 65 is c squared. A and b doesn't matter. So 33 squared plus 56 squared. Put it in the calculator. So we have 33 squared plus 56 squared. And then we have 65 squared. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, let's just clear that. 65 squared. Is those numbers the same? Yes, so then it is a right triangle. All right, so find the longest side. So the longest side is 42, so that's C. So 42 squared equals, A and B doesn't matter, so 22 squared plus 34 squared. And then check to see that it works. So 22 squared plus 34 squared equals, and we want to see that it's 42 squared. Are those the same? No, so it is not a right triangle. All right, so again, find the longest side. So longest side 70, so 70 equals, and then A and B doesn't matter, so 28 squared plus 67 squared. So 28 squared plus 57 squared, and that's equal to 70 squared. Are those the same? No, they're not. So that is not a right triangle.